Hello BASD community. I wanted to provide an update, a COVID update, particularly as to what our plans will be for the start of school. On August 9th, a little over a week ago, at the school board meeting, I presented and shared the tiered mitigation plan that we developed and said that if school had started on the 9th, we would have likely have been in tier 2, which would have required specifically universal masking for grades K to 8 or fewer, or in the case of elementary schools, all students cannot be vaccinated. And if school had started on August 9th, we would have looked at the high schools on an optional, strongly recommended, but optional masking for students. Since then, the numbers in the community, but I said we have another week or so, we can continue to watch the data. Well, since then, the COVID case rate data continues to get worse. I want to share a couple of those numbers with you and then share some feedback I received this week in a meeting with all of the St. Luke's experts that are dealing with this issue, and the meeting they held with school districts to give advice. So first, on July 6th, our county case rate, that's cases per 100,000, was 8.2. I think we showed this in the last video. 8.2 on July 6th. On August 15th, last Friday, it was 137.6, and we fully expect this Friday to be over 150 cases per 100,000. So that is a substantial increase, rapid increase, week after week after week. The meeting with the doctors and the experts today indicates that they do not expect that to slow down anytime in the very near future, certainly not over the next few weeks. The positivity rate of tests also increased from a low of 1.2 in early July to 9.2% of all tests, and the goal is to be below 5%. So we've moved in the wrong direction. The tiers document that we shared recently indicates that when cases are, we're going to look at a lot of numbers, a lot of measures, but critical ones, when cases are over 100 per 100,000 in a week, and when positivity rates are above 10, those would be some key indicators for us to move to a tier. So now we are we're at the 137 per 100,000, and it's probably going to go up higher again. So we're well beyond the tier 2 numbers as far as cases. And at the high school levels, we have just made it into our goals for vaccination levels for tier 2. So in the end, the numbers now require us, for the safety of our students and staff, to implement our tier 3 mitigation measures. So primarily for masking, that simply means mandated universal masking, K to 12 students and staff. We're focusing on indoors. There's still the ability to go without masks and with outdoor activities. But for indoors, following the directions of our partners locally. The terms that the St. Luke's folks used discussing masks were that a few weeks ago when we met them, they were recommending masking, but they agreed there was some latitude there depending on circumstances and case counts in the community. This week's meeting with our experts at St. Luke's was, the quote was, "There's no more latitude. Cases are up, and they strongly are endorsing that we protect our children and our staff by masking." One of the advantages of the universal masking at this point in time is that the CDC has revised guidelines to determine close contacts and who has to quarantine. So in schools, for children, for kids in school, if both children are masked and within 6 feet of each other, and one of those students turns up positive, the other student does not have to quarantine. They are not considered a close contact. So think about how this plays out as we have all students back in school. By masking everyone, we will avoid having to have large numbers of students quarantine, even if we have a few cases. So that's a big game changer, because one of the things I was worried about is having lots of students have to go out on quarantine, and then parents' work schedules are messed up, and trying to find childcare. So you should know that universal masking protects us by reducing the number of possible close contacts, which reduces the number of students that would have to quarantine. I think that's an important note to make. So we will open schools on August 30th under our Tier 3. We will send this information out again to the community and with parents along with this video, and we will continue to monitor case rates. We can fully expect we'll be in Tier 3 with mandated universal masking through the end of September. We need to get several weeks under our belt, and then we'll see how case counts are. And if we see very few student cases in the community and staff cases, so it's not the threat of the virus in schools is minimized because there are very few student cases coming into school, then we can look at when we're ready to move to Tier 2. But for opening of school, Tier 3, universal masking along with all of the other mitigation strategies we have in place. Our ultimate duty is to keep kids safe and to get them in school where they learn best. Those are our two goals. Unfortunately, that means in order to achieve those goals, we have to start out with universal masking. I'm not happy that that's where we are, but I have to do my duty to protect our kids and our staff and our community, and it's clearly the right thing to do. Remember, a pandemic is not an individual health crisis. It's a community health crisis. We got to hang in there together. Please, 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 please get vaccinated and get your eligible kids vaccinated. As vaccination rates go up, cases go down, masks will fade away. Thank you.